Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to pop in and chat about Insomnia by Sarah Pinborough. Now this book is actually the book club pick for my real life book club called the Well Read Badly Behaved Book Club, and it's just a classy group of ladies that meets every once in a while to discuss a book, and we're having a lot of fun with that. So can't wait to meet with those ladies next week. But let's get into it. The plot of this book is centered around our main character, Emma Averill, who is about to turn 40, and she is a high-powered divorce attorney who has this beautiful family, big fancy house, and successful career. So from the outside looking in, it looks like Emma has it all, but we start to see that as her 40th birthday creeps closer, things in her life start to crumble. There is this real sense of impending dread and doom as her 40th birthday approaches, and the book actually kind of has a little countdown to her birthday. The significance of that birthday is that Emma's mother actually went mad on her 40th birthday, and she tried to smother Emma's sister Phoebe, and so she has spent the majority of her life in an institution. So Emma has always been concerned that this is hereditary, and so we start to see her suffering from bouts of insomnia leading up to her 40th birthday, just as her mother did. Throughout the book, during these sleepless nights, we start to see Emma performing these very obsessive compulsive sort of rituals, and initially in the book I was annoyed by this because I didn't get it and it was just kind of boring. But I will say at the end, your questions will be answered, all of that will make sense, and there's a reason why it is so repetitive and obsessive and out of her control. Because in my mind, even though she's suffering from insomnia and we're really unsure of her mental state, I could not wrap my head around how this high-powered divorce attorney could not get this under control. How she could go from being a completely assertive and in control woman to not being able to control these behaviors. Something else about her character that really didn't ring true to me is how passive she was. As things start to crumble around her and she comes under suspicion for these really horrific acts, she almost kind of sits back and takes it when people in her life, family members, her husband, her children, her sister, her boss, start treating her really poorly. I just didn't feel like she stuck up for herself or really kind of advocated for herself or tried to figure out answers quickly enough. She does investigate, but in my mind, I'm thinking of her as this very assertive, confident woman, and so it just didn't make sense to me that she didn't try to take control of the situation earlier in the story. But in all honesty, if her character was suffering from insomnia, it would make sense that she would be spiraling out of control, because I know how I feel after missing one night of good restorative sleep, and I'm not on my A game, so I can imagine that a couple of weeks of severe insomnia would really take a toll on your decision-making skills, your, reflexes, your responses, everything. So I really felt sorry for Emma's character throughout this book, and the family dynamics were pretty toxic. The husband character in this book was not a fan. Of course, the outside looking in, a lot of people thought they had this perfect marriage, but there were a lot of issues kind of simmering under the surface, and any sort of, tragic or stressful situation is really going to kind of amplify those problems, which is exactly what happened in this book. So what this book does well is that impending sense of dread and doom throughout, the building of suspense, and it is a thriller, but what this author really nails is pulling in elements of other genres, because I do feel like there are elements of horror here, and you also have supernatural elements as well. So I'm going to get into a little bit of a spoiler here. With the twist, I did like how the psychic element was tied into the story, because the psychic element was tied to Emma's mother's perceived madness, I feel like it was more believable and it was embedded in the story throughout. So even though I wasn't someone who could put the clues together and figure it out, I mean, I was completely shocked by the twist. Once I thought about it after the fact, it all made sense to me, and it really felt like a cool way to end the book with that supernatural aspect to it. It didn't feel hokey to me, which, I mean, you know, supernatural books can seem a little hokey sometimes, but I really liked how this one was done. I like Sarah Pinborough's writing, and I wouldn't say I like this better than Behind Her Eyes. That book left me completely stunned for like 2 weeks. I was still thinking about the book after the fact, and for a while I couldn't decide whether I loved it, hated it, or even really understood what happened. So I think that one kind of takes the cake for me, but this one was good. It was solid. So if you have read Insomnia or any of Sarah Pinborough's other books, please shoot me a comment. Let me know what you thought, and let me know if you're reading anything else good. I hope you guys are having a super duper day, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.